The interview that divided millions, Xiao Zhan'S words on Wang Yibo break the internet. It was supposed to be a simple sit-down interview to promote his upcoming drama, but what unfolded before the camera that day has now become one of the most polarizing and talked-about moments in modern C-pop history. Xiao Zhan, beloved actor, singer, and icon to millions, appeared composed at first, calm, poised, graceful as ever. But as the interview shifted from light-hearted questions to deeper, more personal territory, everything began to change. And by the time the final segment aired, millions of fans were crying, shocked, enraged, or stunned into silence. Because Xiao Zhan, for the first time since his painful and very public breakup with Wang Yibo, finally opened up. And he did not hold back. What he said would set the internet on fire and split an entire fandom in two. It was love, but it hurt me more than it held me. The moment came halfway through the broadcast. The host, clearly treading cautiously, asked Xiao Zhan about the past few months. He spoke vaguely at first about growth, change, the need to move forward. But when asked if there was someone he still missed, he paused. There was a long silence. The host didn't interrupt. The cameras kept rolling. Then Xiao Zhan looked directly into the lens, his voice soft, but heavy with emotion. "I loved Wang Yibo," he said. "I still do in some ways. But he's not the person I knew. The man I loved is someone else now." The room went still. The crew members reportedly stopped moving. And the host, clearly taken off guard, whispered, "Do you regret loving him?" Xiao Zhan smiled, the kind of smile that hides tears. Then he whispered, "It was love. But it hurt me more than it held me." The internet erupts in minutes. Within moments of the interview airing, social media imploded. The hashtag #XiaoZhanSpeaks started trending in over 40 countries. In less than an hour, more than 2 million comments poured in from fans, media outlets, and even fellow celebrities. Some applauded his bravery. Others accused him of playing the victim. And a large portion simply didn't know what to feel. Fan reactions included, "He finally said it. We've been waiting for honesty. Why now? Why put Yibo in a bad light after staying silent for so long? He's clearly still in pain. I just want them to be happy again. I've switched sides. Xiao Zhan deserves better." This is emotional manipulation disguised as vulnerability. Screenshots of old videos of the couple resurfaced, laughing at home, celebrating their daughter's birthday, holding hands on stage. Every clip was now viewed through a new lens. What once looked like love now looked to some like tension waiting to break. To others, it only confirmed how real and tragic their relationship had been. Fanbase divided, we don't know who to believe anymore. The once united fandom that had supported both Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan through years of rumors, battles with management, public outings, and even raising their daughter together, was now completely fractured. On one side were the fans who stood with Xiao Zhan, who believed his tears, his honesty, and his long silence were signs of restraint, not guilt. They claimed he was finally freeing himself from the weight of silence and emotional repression. On the other side stood the Wang Yibo loyalists, those who believed he was being unfairly painted as cold, distant, or even cruel. Yibo never said anything bad about Xiao. Why would he suddenly deserve this? This isn't closure. This is damage. Some tried to stay neutral, urging others not to pit the two stars against each other. But neutrality was nearly impossible. Every post was flooded with replies. Every fan page was under fire. Even celebrity friends began quietly unfollowing, reposting cryptic messages, or going silent altogether. Wang Yibo's reaction, nothing but a dot. Perhaps the most chilling part of all came just 3 hours after the interview aired. Wang Yibo, silent since the beginning of the media storm, posted a single caption on his personal fan platform. Just one dot. No words. No emojis. No photos. Just a single punctuation mark. But fans read everything into it. Was it heartbreak? Resignation? Disbelief? Was it a digital sigh? Or a silent scream? No one knew, and that made it even worse. The daughter who said nothing, but showed everything. As the internet war raged on, sources close to both parties confirmed that their daughter, who had not been seen in public for weeks, was currently staying with Xiao Zhan'S family. A leaked voice note, allegedly sent by the child to Wang Yibo after watching the interview, shook fans all over again. In the audio, she said, "I saw Daddy Zhan on TV. He was crying. Can we fix it?" Though her voice was small and sweet, the impact was massive. Thousands reposted the audio with captions like, "This is bigger than fan wars. There's a child involved. They need to fix this for her, if not for themselves." Industry insiders speak out, this wasn't random. A former manager from a production company the couple once worked with came forward anonymously, claiming that the timing of Xiao Zhan'S interview was intentional. According to her, there had been pressure for one of them to finally speak before a massive brand endorsement deal fell through. The truth is, the silence was affecting everything: deals, endorsements, future casting. They needed someone to speak. He did. This revelation added fuel to the fire. Was Xiao Zhan speaking from the heart? Or was it strategic vulnerability? Final words, or just the beginning? Toward the end of the interview, when asked what he would say if Wang Yibo were watching, Xiao Zhan looked directly at the camera once again. He didn't blink. He didn't smile. "I hope you're happy," he said. "I hope one day, we can remember us, without pain." And just like that, the interview ended. No music. No credits. No curtain call. Only silence. What comes next? Now, the world waits. Will Wang Yibo break his silence with more than a dot? Will Xiao Zhan continue speaking his truth? Will the fandom heal, or is this the final blow? One thing is certain. This is no longer just a breakup. It's a public reckoning. A love once idolized, now dissected. A silence once protected, now shattered. And millions of hearts, forever changed. Because when Xiao Zhan finally spoke, the world listened. And it may never be the same again. "I waited for him to fight for us," Wang Yibo finally breaks down after Xiao Zhan's explosive interview. Just when the world thought the heartbreak had reached its peak, Wang Yibo finally broke his silence, and what he revealed has taken everything to a whole new level. 4 days, fans watched in shock as Xiao Zhan's emotional interview ripped open old wounds. His tearful confession that "I loved Wang Yibo, but his now a stranger" triggered global headlines and triggered a massive divide across their fandom. But while everyone waited for a reaction from Wang Yibo, he remained quiet. Until now. In an unannounced appearance on a quiet livestream meant for close fans only, Wang Yibo cracked under the pressure. No cameras, no stage lighting, no professional glam, just a raw, broken man staring into the lens like he was speaking directly to someone who had already left. And with a trembling voice, he said, "I waited for him to fight for us. But he gave up. He left, and I stayed behind with everything we built." Wang Yibo's words weren't rehearsed. In fact, he admitted he didn't plan to speak at all, but the silence had become unbearable. He started by saying he watched Xiao Zhan's interview 3 times, each time hoping to hear something different. Hoping, maybe, that there would still be a door open. But what he saw, he said, felt like a final goodbye disguised as grief. "He said he loved me," Wang Yibo whispered, "but love doesn't walk away and never look back. Love doesn't leave you to raise a daughter in silence. Love doesn't end in front of cameras." He took a breath. Shaky. Deep. Real. "I didn't want a public war. I didn't want fans to pick sides. That's why I stayed quiet. But maybe I was wrong." He looked straight at the camera again and said the line that would be reposted on every fan account within minutes. "I waited for him to fight for us. But he gave up before I ever got the chance. A love letter never sent." The livestream took a shocking turn when Wang Yibo pulled out a folded letter, aged and creased like it had been held many times. He hesitated before reading. His hands trembled. His voice shook. "I wrote this the night he walked out. I never sent it. But I think maybe he needs to hear it now." He opened the page. Fans watching said they could see tear stains on it. "Zhan. I don't know what to say. Maybe this is all my fault. Maybe I held back too much. Maybe I let fear take the place of love. But I need you to know I was always coming back to you. Even when we were angry. Even when we didn't speak. You were still the home I was heading toward. And if you asked me right now to come to you, I would. Without question. Because there was never anyone else. Just you. As he finished reading, his voice cracked again. But you never asked. Fan reactions, the internet splits again. Once again, social media exploded, but this time, with a new wave of confusion, heartbreak, and rage. Fans who had been defending Xiao Zhan were suddenly rethinking everything. Clips of Wang Yibo's livestream were posted side by side with Xiao Zhan'S interview, and fans began analyzing every word, every tear, every pause. So he waited, and Xiao gave up. They both think the other didn't fight. How did they fall apart without even knowing it? There was no villain. Just silence. Just timing. The fanbase, already fractured, became even more divided. Fan wars escalated. Debates turned bitter. But beneath all the chaos, a haunting truth started to surface. They both loved each other. They just didn't know how to say it at the right time. A shocking revelation. I went to our old house. Toward the end of the stream, Wang Yibo dropped a moment that left everyone breathless. He revealed that just days before Xiao Zhan'S interview, he had returned to the house they once shared. I stood outside the gate for almost 2 hours, he said. I didn't go in. I just looked at the window. The one where he used to leave the light on for me. And then he added. The light was off. The metaphor broke fans. Comment sections were flooded with heartbreak. He came back. And the door was already closed. This isn't just a breakup. This is a tragedy. Their daughter, a child torn between two unfinished stories. Later, when asked by a fan what he missed the most, Wang Yibo said softly. The way she used to run into our room on Sunday mornings. All three of us. That's what I miss. That's what hurts the most. He added that their daughter had drawn a picture recently. A new one. This time, it showed a single house and two people standing far apart, but holding the same heart between them. She doesn't know how to draw pain yet, he said. But she feels it. Will they ever speak again? When asked directly if he would ever reach out to Xiao Zhan again, Wang Yibo went quiet. Then he said, if he needs me, he knows where to find me. I've never changed my number. The stream ended abruptly after that. No music. No warning. Just a man wiping tears off his face before cutting the feed. And now, the world is holding its breath again. What happens next? The story is far from over. If anything, this might be the beginning of the real truth. Not the carefully packaged statements. Not the cryptic posts. But the real, messy, emotional journey of two men who lost each other in silence. Are they finally speaking from the heart? Or are they simply grieving a love that died without a proper goodbye? Either way, one thing is certain. This is not just the most public breakup in C-pop history. It's the most painful love story never finished. And the world is still waiting for the final page.